Mark. Background.
The 7 years you spend here as a surgical resident will be the best and worst of your life. You will be pushed to the breaking point. This is your starting line. This is your arena. How well you play, that's up to you.
And action.
I wanted to do a show that was really about competition.
You are slow. You want to bet?
There was something that felt really fresh about this take on hospital shows.
Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Like you've seen me naked.
It's just drama, this conflict.
Pull your balls out of your back pocket. Let's go.
It's a very serious life and death world.
Time of death is 11:42.
You know, we've seen medical shows, but this was the first time we'd really seen characters like this.
Wait, what about me? Honey, you get to do rectal exams.
The comedy played really as a wonderful counterpart to the drama.
I am not your sister!
I think the main reason people love our show is in the comedy, the character, the intrigue, the romance.
You never know what's going to happen next, and it's full of surprises.
You and Alex?
What audiences are excited about is that they love spending time with these people.
I want the show to feel real and fun. I wanted you to enjoy watching it.
Nice work, everybody. Nicely done.
Cut it. Good, very nice. I think Grey's Anatomy is a very consumer-friendly show because I think the people and the characters are very accessible. These people are people you really want to hang out with, you really like. They feel like real people.
The idea of the show probably came from the fact that I'm kind of a medical junkie. I love to watch those surgeries. I'm like sort of a raging hypochondriac, and so I thought there's something really interesting about surgeries. I chose interns over established surgeons because I thought there's something really horrible about not knowing what you're doing for a living.
Who here feels like they have no idea what they're doing?
I wasn't really trying to pull together any specific combination of characters when I was making the cast. So whoever was best, that's who we were going to cast.
Shonda was really insistent about the idea that we cast the character with no preconceived notion as to what they should look like or be like, just that it would be the best actor for the part.
I love our cast. I think we're very, very lucky to be all together. Also because I'm really proud of the fact that half of our cast is not white.
We're so very, very different, but yet so very alike in so many ways.
To take a show and hire 9 women out of 13 writers or something, that doesn't happen very much. And once it happens once, and 20 million people come back week after week after week after week, it's going to happen more. It's unbelievably important, and it's unbelievably inspiring, and it's one of the main reasons why I wanted this job.
Appendix is out.
We really try to start from the theme of whatever the episode is. We try to find the theme first, and then you try to find cases or think of cases that sort of fit that theme.
The great thing about doing a show about surgery is that it really grounds the romance and the comedy in the show.
You brought a textbook? If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right.
I went to the hospital and did rounds with the doctors. There's so much more casual, you know, than I guess you'd probably like them to be. They really do talk about what they ate for dinner while they have you sliced open.
It was good to be in the OR for about 5 hours and sort of see how they sort of throw it away, kind of in a sense, where it's just almost like working on a car.
I mean, even I sat in on this heart surgery, and these doctors and nurses as well didn't even go to the bathroom break. They couldn't even, they're standing there the whole time with this heart beating, and they have to, you know, save this life.
What happened? He went into multi-system organ failure, secondary to overwhelming sepsis. Now he's all...
Fix his BP, that should help his mental status.
He's maxed out on pressors.
I don't feel like anybody wants to actually watch surgery while watching the show, but you do want to get a sense of how excited our interns are about it. Therefore, you need to get, I think, a glimpse of what all the surgeries are.
We have a really terrific medical producer, Linda Klein, who stages these operations and brings in real surgeons. So the handwork a lot of times you see is a real surgeon tying a knot.
It's hard to see here, think about who is the most valuable person on set.
Anybody else? No, no more.
That might be Linda Klein. Linda Klein, who is our medical technician. She should be just the grand poobah.
What if we take it and just add a little one up here so that we keep that one?
You know, we have the greatest actors on our show that you just show them one thing one time and they're off to the races, and they just love it.
He has no pulse. What? He has no pulse!
She counsels us on all of the correct terminology and, how to perform the surgeries properly and has it all looking as authentic as possible.
I know she's really great at how we hold our instruments. Hey, Jim, no, you hold it like this.
So she'll walk us through whatever the procedure is, the specific things that need to happen, the different handoffs that need to happen.
Charge past 200. Charge. Clear. We always ask Linda Klein, you know, what is this procedure? What is this surgery? You know, when is this performed? What happens?
She gets not only the medicine of it, but she does get the film making part of it. So she'll bring blood and bring in the right pork belly to put on someone for their operation to look authentic.
Some of the things I use are cow brains, cow's hearts.
Look at his heart. It's huge.
Well, when we first started this, they were kind of squeamish. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to give it to you. You can shoot it if you want it. It'll be there, and if you don't. And it just seems that the more I give them, the more they want.
What's important to me as a writer is that I don't ever lose the audience sort of in the medicine. And the medical part has been really hard for me, so I leave that to the experts. So I punctuate medical, medical, medical. And then somebody else goes, medical. And then somebody goes, medical, medical. Somebody goes, medical. And then I give it to the doctors. And then they fill in all the medical. They sort of give me choices.
How would you diagnose?
Spiral CT, BQ scan, provide O2, dose with heparin, and consult for an IVC filter.
Well, what we do with every script is we gather the cast together, and everybody and all the guest actors who have been cast at that point all come, and we gather around a big table, and we just have a big read-through.
The table read is really the first time you discover what's working and what's not in a real way.
And it's basically just a really good opportunity to hear your words being spoken for the first time by the actors.
Because sometimes what looks like an awesome sentence on the page,
and you hear
then
it,
someone tries to speak it, and it sounds like...
just hits like a brick.
What was I supposed to say?
Oh! Sometimes we'll scrap an entire storyline after a table read, so we really work hard to make it sing out loud.
That was definitely worth being late.
The relationship between Sandra's character, Christina, and Burke, Isaiah's character, was totally born out of not their suggestion, but their performance. And these guys, they have a real chemistry together.
Just coffee.
Yeah, we started to write to their chemistry, and when you write to their chemistry, that, of course, it just blooms, and that relationship was born.
I'd say that there was some sort of idea that Burke and Christina would get together, and just to explore the fact that their characters are very, very similar.
There's a guy with nails in his head?
7 of them. Shot himself in the head with a nail gun.
Nails?
We'll laugh about something that's really dark and twisted, and you feel bad. You're like, we just can't do that, can we? And then, you know, there's always someone who's like, yeah, let's try.
You will not laugh, vomit, or drop your jaw. We understood?
Why would we laugh?
Oh, just you wait.
So we have a medical researcher who sits in the room with the writers. We say, can somebody have an 80-pound tumor? And then she runs out of the room and comes back and says, yes, they can, and here are a bunch of cases, and here's how it works.
In episode 8, George ends up with syphilis.
Right.
And, you know, what a horrifying thing. You're a doctor living with 2 female doctors, and you know what you have.
Syphilis? It's not surgical. Who has syphilis?
TR was a really good sport about that whole episode.
There's a certain amount of, I guess, insecurity that, you know, obviously for him came out of that.
Just what I need. Syphilis outbreak and a tumor.
Well, it's probably unrelated.
You guys, this episode, episode 209, is going to air as 210.
I think Shonda has a real talent for creating characters that you fall in love with. And I think Shonda has a worldview. She looks at the world in a way that's slightly off-kilter with a wonderful eye for humor and irony. And that's what she puts on the page, and that's what she creates.
What is your problem?
You. Because apparently you can help Dr. McDreamy in ways the rest of us can't.
I think she understands these relationships and these people so well and writes them really eloquently and beautifully.
Sound speed. Hey, Mark.
She keeps it moving, and she keeps the energy up. You know, you never know what's going to happen next, and she's full of surprises.
Things always are evolving. You know, we'll be heading in a direction, and she'll have an idea for a cliffhanger or an end.
You know, some people would call this a relationship.
Who? Who would call it that?
Me.
Yeah, you really don't know what's going to happen from day to day most of the time. I think stuff is always being rewritten and changed, and storylines are being revealed to you. So you really have to kind of think on your feet. You don't, you know, like I didn't realize that I was married until halfway through.
We knew for a long time that he was married. It's fun to watch your family and friends sort of get caught up in a show and feel like, oh, just wait.
I'm Addison Shepard.
Shepard? They didn't tell me that was coming, and I was very surprised.
I think that Shonda always planned to have that be, you know, a big cliffhanger somewhere down the line. And we brought it in at the end of the first season.
And you must be the woman who's been screwing my husband.
Yeah, I went from being really liked to hated for like 3 months. And it was like, you're an adulterer, you're terrible.
We have so many fantastic actors on this show that are just so great comedically.
Hey! What are we doing here?
We all kind of have our really serious moments, but also have these great sort of fun, carefree scenes with one another, and it's probably why I like the show so much. It's my favorite part of the show is the humor.
I think we're all so different, and that's what makes the show what it is.
We have a lot of scenes, and there's a reason for it. We have a lot of hours, and there's a reason for that. But at the end of the day, when you watch those 43 minutes, you don't want it to end.
I want you to feel like you're sitting down with a bunch of friends. Every time you watch the show, you're like joining your friends, George, Izzy, and Meredith, to sort of see what happens.
You know, we have a lot of sex, a lot of romance. But Shonda wrote for herself. She created the show to please herself, and it turns out that it pleases a lot of people.